I want to talk about a Bible story that you might have heard of called the parable of the sower in the Gospel of Mark. Parables were stories that Jesus used to teach a moral lesson. They're to be read both for the message of the overall story and also what's embedded in the details. So you need to read both in context and you need to read carefully. Here's the first detail. This story, like many of his parables, is about the kingdom of God. Mark chapter 4 verse 11 says this. So what's this all about? We learn from other places in the Bible that the kingdom of God has a king, King Jesus, has a capital city, Jerusalem, centers on a land, the land of Israel, and involves the whole earth and is in the future. Here's a second detail, and it's really weird. Jesus said this story taught a secret, but what is the secret? Why does he tell a simple story with a moral message and also say that only some people are going to get it? Isn't the whole idea of a simple story that things are clearer? He says in Mark chapter 4 verse 12, "But for those outside everything is in parables, so that they may indeed see but not perceive, and may indeed hear but not understand." So these are people who are just not getting the message. So the parable itself, the sower sows some seed. The ground that receives it is different. The whole purpose of the seed is to grow, and the whole purpose of the ground is to nurture and feed the seed. This seed is called the Word. The three most common words in this story are seed, soil, and word. This seed is sown in people's hearts when they hear it. But this parable is about the reaction to that word. So this word is active, like seed, it grows. If we give it a chance, it'll grow. So this is about listening to the message. How do we hear the message about the kingdom of God? That's where the soil comes in. The first kind is just rocky, gravelly pathway. Birds eat the seed before these people even know what's happened. Too many other things are going on for any new ideas to take root. Jesus calls these birds Satan. They peck at the seed and don't let it bed down in our minds. Satan in the Bible is something or someone who stands in our way. We all have Satans in our lives, but some of us overcome them, and others are overcome by them. Anything that stops us really deeply hearing about God is a Satan, like the birds to us. The second is called rocky ground. Here is a soil, but it's not deep, so nor are the roots. These people may be interested at first, but there's just not enough depth in their thinking to feed these new ideas. The pressures of life, the sun, come up and any new ideas just shrivel, just like what happened with the birds. The third kind of soil already has a lot of stuff growing, and that's the problem. These are thorns and they choke out everything else. These people are very happy with their own thorns, their own weeds, their own thistles, and they never get rid of them. No new ideas about future kingdoms or changes in ways of life here, please. Lastly, there's the soil that is deep, fertile and weeded. These people are ready and willing to think about the word of the kingdom. They have nothing to choke the message out, no rocks to stifle growth, and when the heat of the sun comes up in their lives, their roots are deep enough to get moisture, light and nourishment. There are other parables about the kingdom of God, but here is a story that focuses on one thing: our reaction to the message. What's the soil like in our hearts? Do we have the time, the space, the inclination for the most important message that the world has ever known?